And welcome back to another edition of the John Wayne Surge Protector Podcast, 60/40 production. I'm Eric Halsey.
I'm Alex Midway, and did you all miss us over this long extended weekend? We missed you.
Well, a little bit anyways. A lot of fantasy drafts this weekend. Honestly, way more important than anything else going on. Do we even have the podcast today?
Yeah, I got my work one coming up tomorrow, and I don't know what I'm going to do there. It's a PPR one, so it's different. And the first time I played it, I printed out directions for a non-PPR, so didn't even make the playoff. Well, didn't even make the bottom bowl. After that, made the bottom bowl. Then I made the king of a toilet bowl. Then last year, I took home the money.
Fun story. I forgot that I was drafting for a different league on Sunday. I thought it was next Sunday, and also PPR, and I had no readouts. So I just kind of went with best judgment, using my big old football brain. And draft grade came out with a D-, and they are expecting me to go 0-14.
I mean, the Yahoo A+ is a kiss of death. We both know that.
That is true. So really screenshotted my draft recap and waiting for that first win to post.
Yeah, start working at waiver wire.
Speaking of which, upload our draft.
Yeah, I'll get on that one. We got to also work out a punishment as well. I need to get that situated, but shut your mouth. I'm still tired. I actually went on a run today, and I shouldn't have gone on a run in hindsight, but I did.
Yeah, running's dumb. I refuse to be part of this Make America Healthy thing again, and I will continue to gain weight until Michelle Obama comes back and tells me to stop.
Oh, the Maha movement's been hitting a couple speed bumps. We'll get into that one, but so I mean, I got another race coming up, and I went shopping for new shoes. I'm like, you know what? I need to update my shoes. I'm like, this is awesome. Watched a little TV, got my shoes ready, got everything into the car, walked in there with flip-flops, knowing I was like, you know what, I'll get down to the park, I'll switch into the old whatever I need to get switched into, and we're golden. Get down there, and your boy finds out he does not have any socks. I was like, you know what? No excuses.
You just raw dogged a run in new shoes, huh?
Strapped off the old shoes, gave 3 hail trumps, and asked for safety from our dear leader, and went on a run. So it was supposed to be about a 6-miler, and around a 1.75-ish, around a 2-mile, about a 1/3 of the way through, I was like, there's a water fountain. I'm like, perfect. Roll up to the water fountain, not a drop of water coming out of it. I was like, it's like this thing's getting better and better. So, turn around. I'm up to about maybe 5 miles or so. Maybe 4 miles is when it started to kick in. And the old big toe and a little toe starting to hurt. And I'm like, ooh, I guess the socks are crucial for something. And as they're going to hurt, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to power through. Here we go. About the 5 and 7/4 mile mark, the back of the Achilles starts rubbing. Just raw skin's coming off. I'm like, mother effer. At that point, your boy has to stop the run, and I go full native. Take off the shoes and go barefoot for the last quarter. So I still finished it. No water, no socks. Pretty much an alpha male here.
Yeah, that is your go-to move. I saw you do it at a wedding once.
Well, that's because I still had a bunion there, and I bought these alligator shoes about a size and a half too small for me. So I felt like a little Asian girl with her feet bound, and it sucked. I was like, these things got to come off. I'm done.
Yeah, so listeners, always double check. You are ordering the men's size, not the women's.
But it was cheaper. I saved $20. It's cool. Plus, they're gator shoes, man. Like, you can't find those things anymore, and it sucks. I'm like, damn it. I was like, those are pretty awesome, but now they're super illegal.
Well, speaking of races, let's check in on our favorite racist.
Oh, hey now. I was like, other things that are illegal, it should be the stock market. That's going to be my transition, but I like both work. It's 3:40 when we left you guys last week. It was 3:46 this morning. It's 3:51 just before this. And honestly, it's just because Elon came out and he tweeted that the FSD version 14 that he's going to release in September, it's going to be better than a human driver. And version 15 could be 10 times superior. But he had to go ahead and dial that back on Monday because he came out and said there are many rare situations in real life, and even version 14, while capable of being much safer than the average human driver, will take a couple of months to debug. And what that translates to me is the fact that they're releasing this version, and it's kind of like it's going to have a couple beers here and there. It's like your uncle who's watching a couple classes on how to get sober online, but it's going to take a few months before he stops actually running over the kids on bicycles.
Yeah, like a little trial and error on this one, huh?
It's I don't know. We're going to test this out in the field. You guys go after yourselves, bring up some raw data. We'll turn off FSD a half a second before impact, and you guys are responsible for the whole thing.
I feel like this would be a great time for Newsom to start coming out with those make driving safe again hats and just start blasting Elon.
Yeah, that guy's online store is definitely blowing up, and it's hilarious. I actually want to go stop by there, and we talked about this offline. I want to get one of those flags. I want to put it up in my window, but make sure it's completely unfurled because if someone drives by and gets the wrong idea, I've seen a couple dudes wearing the red hats and makes me do a double take. I'm like, what the hell? And I look over and the guy's like, "Make America not racist again." I was like, oh, thank God.
I was about to say, yeah, little weird to have some MAGA interactions in our sweet area, but they are out there. I was at the beach a couple weeks ago and had a run in because of my shaved head and beard. People immediately assume I'm also a racist, and I get the "Hey Brothers" a whole bunch.
Yeah, you definitely need that hat. I mean, they'll come up to you, but as soon as they get closer, and then glaucoma just starts being a non-factor, and they actually read what's up there, you're not one of us.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about the other 99% of our area, where I'll just get the punch in the face and then the apology and be like, it's okay. It's worth it for the joke.
I like where your head's at, but I need you to go ahead and read a little bit more before acting. That's a book. That's a page out of the other side's playbook. Yeah,
you got to look before you leap. And by that, I mean, look at my hat before you leap into your right cross.
So let's migrate right along and talk about right crosses here and find out how the war's doing over there and if we've had a full-on ceasefire yet. And spoiler alert, we haven't, but crawling out from behind his couch, J.D. Vance said in an interview to NBC News, "We believe we've seen some significant concessions from both sides just in the last few weeks." And that sounds amazing. Because technically, he did get Zelensky to wear a suit. So that's good on one side. They made concessions.
Progress.
He's even falling forward. So did the other side do anything? And Donald Trump came out and said believes that Vladimir Putin is avoiding a meeting with his Ukrainian counterpart due to personal animosity. Well, I think this might take a couple more hours than 24 to get these guys who don't like each other, which is apparently late-breaking news.
Is the fact that he's trying to broker this, and clearly Ukraine is the aggressive one who's not coming to the table, do you think he still deserves this Nobel Peace Prize?
Well, he deserves 2 of them.
Oh, okay.
Apparently he stopped 6 wars, so 2 Nobel Peace Prizes seems like a pretty low bar.
Sorry, let me hate to correct you here, but he has stopped 6 wars and prevented 4 pre-wars, is what I read from the White House. So,
what is a pre-war?
It means a war was going to happen, but the guy God hand selected because he only blessed the United States 2,000 years after he died. He's stopping it before it starts. He's preventing the war.
I mean, technically, Joe Biden prevented a war in Africa. Like, none of them started down there. We're counting things that never happened as something we put on our resume.
Buddy, I'm telling you, the bank that won't sponsor us, I am putting in a whole new application for a credit line just based on things I've done that prevented things from happening.
What's it called? I just saw the South Park, and they, what's a sycophant? And they just went straight to the White House where everyone's kissing his rear end and talking to him.
Did you, speaking of which, did you see him get his World Cup trophy?
Another one? I thought he already stole one in a personal medal.
No. That was one of the other soccer championships
that
they have every week.
That was the other FIFA.
Yeah, evidently they gave him a World Cup trophy and told him it was solid gold. And he goes, they know what I like. They know I'm into these kind of things.
That and a small child.
Yeah, it's past parody at this point. Just leaning into it.
I'll give it one thing. Like, we have essentially a dictator, but you kind of know what his sweet tooth is. And at least he's not lashing out at us poors. So as long as we keep bringing him sacrifices of gold, he just shuts up.
Yeah, I guess now it's probably better he's focused on gold instead of all these undocumented children that keep getting separated from their family and misplaced.
Well, when you remember TV, man, camera, you can do a lot of things at the same time. Unlike Sleepy Joe Biden.
Yeah, walking around, sniffing people's hair and trying to make the world better. Yeah. Idiot.
Lower the price of people's prescription drugs. Not being on the Epstein list. Like, it's weird. The amount of things
helping red states despite them not voting for him.
Yeah, the things he hadn't done. It's wild.
Being president for an entire United States.
Yeah. No scandals, never bankrupting a company. Like, it's insane.
Not on the Epstein list. What a loser.
Yeah. But let's go back to Ukraine and let's go see what our fearless leader can go ahead and do in regards to ending this war. And just so we keep everything in context, that the threat of sanctions brought Putin to Alaska. The promise of ending sanctions is the logic behind the peace deal, but is there anything more we can do? Well, the U.S. defense officials can block the Ukraine from using U.S.-supplied long-range missiles to strike targets inside Russia, as the Trump administration's effort to get Vlad to engage in peace talks, according to a report on Saturday. The Wall Street Journal reports that the Pentagon has blocked Ukraine from using U.S.-made ATACMS missiles all the way into Russia because that makes sense. And the logic behind Trump saying this is, I disagree with sending missiles hundreds of miles into Russia. Why are we doing that? We're just escalating the war and making it worse. That should not be allowed to be done. Cool. Now tell the Russians to stop hitting actual targets inside Ukraine and blowing up a bunch of hospitals and everything else like that. And then we can all end this war together by de-escalating. But when you tell one side not to do it, you're kind of tying their hands behind their back.
Yeah, I don't think punishing Ukraine and then just banking on Russia's morals to be like, okay, we'll also agree to be fair here is going to work.
No! Like, you could literally turn on the news right now and within 24 hours you're like, the Russian guy doesn't want peace, does he? Like, no, not even close.
Are you telling me, are you expecting me to believe that a dictator with a God complex, we just can't trust his word or his morals to be like, yeah, fair play seems great?
Yeah. The guy who invaded this place back in 2014, then invaded back in 2022, he's now ready to stop the whole thing as long as the other side stops bombing him first. Like, cool, yeah, that's believable.
Yeah, but you and the rest of the lamestream media never bring up that he's got an ancient map that shows that it's actually his.
Yeah. I've got an even more ancient map that shows that Russia is part of the Ottoman Empire. Let's go refer to that one and give it back to Turkey.
Lame's dream. This is all a hoax.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't make sense. The fact, like, I get it when it was part of the aid package that the U.S. was giving all their stuff to Ukraine. Like, all right, you gave us a little car, you get to just say, like, where we go with our car. But at this point, the military aid that actually Ukraine is getting is being paid for by EU nations. So right now they're coming out of pocket and they're buying this stuff. They're not leasing these missiles. Like, these, once they're out of the hands of the U.S., like, F you, like, these things are going where we want them to go or where they believe they'll make the most actual impact. If you don't want us to use it, why don't you just keep them yourself? But getting them afterwards and telling us that we can't take the restrictor plates off the new Chevy, like, that makes zero sense to me, other than the fact, if you understand that our president is currently working to try to give Russia as much land in Ukraine as possible.
Yeah, like if I buy a car from you, you don't then get to tell me, like, you can't leave this state line, though. Like, yeah. No, the only one who can tell me that is the state of Florida and this Irish Rolex they put around my ankle.
Yeah. Like, if I lease a car, I'm confined to 15,000 miles or whatever it is a year. I got to do everything else like that. But if I buy that car outright, I can put whatever I want on that car, take off the wheels, ride around on squares for all I care. Like, F you, this is my car now. Like, I paid for it.
Yeah, and another funny thing, because, like, a lot of MAGA's, going to support this no matter what. Where's all the 2A people? Like, okay, you can buy this gun, but you can never fire it. Like, the hell I can't. Like, but you don't believe in that same right for Zelensky.
Well, he's a communist.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that settles that.
Yeah. What has Putin done to me, man? Why are we fighting this war? And why are we giving all these weapons to these fascists in Ukraine? Like, I know what channel you're watching. Just put it on OAN, tossed away the remote, and walked away.
We're over here at I'mRight.com. It says clear as day. Like, no. But it's a valid question. Where are all my 2A people going? Like, yeah, he shouldn't be able to fire those things he bought.
I mean, the 2A crowd hasn't opened their mouth since Trump deployed National Guard troops in U.S. cities to pretty much pull over U.S. pretty much residents, man. Like, that's literally what the 2A was made for. You're doing, like, stop and frisks again. Like, no.
Buddy, turns out they love tyranny.
Yeah.
I love being treaded on.
Licking that boot. And if anything, and it's not talked about nearly as often, the fact that Trump is activating the National Guard in D.C. and they're unable to stop him whatsoever, it kind of really tears a little bit of a hole in this argument that only Nancy Pelosi could have deployed a National Guard on January 6th. Mother effer, you're deploying them right now, and on January 6th, you just sat there and watched.
Well, since we're only sending them to super safe cities so far, just to prove he's a big old man with crime already down 60%, I did hear him say New York and Chicago are next, and I am dying to see what it's like, what Chicago looks like.
I think, honestly, I think he's hoping somebody will actually shoot that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because then he can actually say there really is a crisis. He's essentially just ramping all these guys up, so they keep going to these neighborhoods, keep terrorizing these people, until somebody's like, F this, like, I've had enough of this, shoots back at him, he's like, oh, see, I've told you all along it's been a massive emergency, and now I've got to deploy him everywhere. Like, that's what he's hoping to happen.
I hope for all of America, all of our 4 listeners, if you have the chance, I hope they just keep throwing sandwiches. I hope that's the goal here. I hope it's that whatever that weird Chicago hot dog is with the pickle or whatever inside or cucumber. I hope they just that's their new violence. Just pegging these guys, just uniforms covered in mustard and relish.
And I hope that little racist ICE agent is highly, highly allergic to relish. and it hits him square in the freaking eyeballs.
Well, since they're definitely not testing for any sort of allergies or anything on their awesome, super in-depth vetting process, I guess we'll find out.
They took off the age restriction. That's how you know it's getting bad. Be like, oh no, you and your dad want to be want to be Hitlers together? Like, come on, join. Like, now you have zero excuse to leave. Like, I said I was going to join, but I mean, I didn't really mean it. I kind of like this disability check I've got. Like, yeah, sit down.
Yeah, sit down and thank Mr. Newsom for that sweet government draw check you got.
So, speaking of some self-made weapons and throwing things at everyone else, Ukraine kind of made its own sub to throw back at Russia. At a certain point, when you're not allowed to play with the toys that you bought, they went ahead and made himself a cruise missile and called it the Flamingo. And this mother effer has a 1,000-kilogram warhead, which I'm guessing is 17 trillion pounds or whatever it is in freedom units. And why do they put down the weight in kilos and then the range in miles? Like, stick to one. But the range is 1,800 miles. So 1,000-kilogram warhead and 1,800 miles. And this is, I personally think, this is awesome. And the fact that they called it a Flamingo is even better.
Yeah, no, I'm all for effeminate sounding bird names for all sorts of things. Mm-hmm. I think it just adds a little bit of more of an FU to it when it lands. Mm-hmm. Question for you though. When you say warhead, that's not nuclear, is it?
No. Not yet.
I was hoping he found a way back into that.
Yeah. Oh, sweet. We had a couple of these laying around in the basement.
No, I mean, when you hand over everything as part of a plan to be protected by the U.S. and then we just go, never mind. Yeah. I'm hoping he kept a couple just in case.
The U.S., U.K., and Russia saying they won't invade you, yeah. We know how good that is.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, like you said, the fact that it's called the Flamingo makes it even better. It's like you're out there in your Porsche and you get smoked by a Volkswagen Beetle. Like, that makes it even cooler. And I personally think Ukraine needs to keep ramping out and, like, even more effeminate-sounding ones. It's leaning borderline just homosexual. Because I want... If Putin gets killed or any Russian military guy is like, oh no, latest XLB-7 Bravo missile is coming, like, yeah, it's pretty badass, but like, you know what, it's just a technical nomenclature. But if you're about to get murked out of his planet by rainbow sprinkles with rocket, and that bad boy also has 1,000 pounds of some glitter that blows up afterwards, like, that really scares somebody.
I would like to see them have the drag bomb where they just put giant lipstick and huge eyeshadow and like a wig and a ill-fitting dress on before they drop it. It just, it was kind of like, remember back when we were fighting for whatever part of the Middle East, that didn't bomb us or do anything terroristic to us. Mm-hmm. We had all those people signing bombs as we were sending over.
Yep.
Same thing, just lipstick, eyeshadow, all of it.
Just like start a rumor that some of the missiles have some kind of a gay thing in them. Like, oh my god, if it doesn't kill you, it turns you gay. Like, like you would see recruitment in the Russian military drop down so quickly.
Yeah. If you think a lesbian band, Pussy Riot, was going to get under Putin's skin, imagine what gay bombs would be doing to him.
Sometimes just launch duds. It's nothing but glitter and lipstick.
No, it's fantastic. I think it's a wonderful idea, and I think they should keep doing it. They should just paint. They should do glitter paint on all the missiles.
Like, what's it called? The German dive bombers, they made a screeching, howling noise during World War II. Like, these missiles, when they're coming down, should be like, hey!
Yeah, I'm all for it. Just insult to injury is my favorite thing. Let's just scorched earth it.
Yeah, just the last thing you hear is Yas Queen.
Yeah, love it. So, speaking of wars Trump failed to end, let's check in on that Gaza Strip and how that ceasefire is working. Israel got caught on camera Monday, giving a Palestinian hospital the old double tap. Now, what is that, you ask? Allow me to explain. First, Israel selects a target. Normally, this is like a military base or some sort of training area for the military. But this time, our boy Benny Net decided to target a Palestinian Nasir hospital. Now, I'm going to just casually mention shooting at a hospital without bringing up the term war crime, because we'll get to that. Don't worry. So instead of saying mission accomplished after blowing up a hospital and heading home, Israeli forces waited 7 full minutes and then hit it again.
Honestly, like, they've been doing this as the entire war. Like, this isn't the first hospital they've hit, and they're actually shooting at people. We talked about this before. They're shooting at people going to collect food at these food disbursement centers. Like, they're just trying to get aid, and you're pretty much blowing them up. And when your president comes out and be like, yeah, we're going to occupy your entire land. Well, you can't occupy it if the people are living. And the fact is, you said you're going to occupy the land. Now we know what you're doing. Like, they're not even trying to hide it anymore. And God bless all of you who voted for Trump and said, you know what, we're not voting for Harris because she didn't stop the Palestinian-Israel war. Like, this is what you get.
Yeah. So I was unaware of a double tap. So this is brand new for me. But so whenever the S hits the fan, there are always 2 types of people that come running to ground zero. Reporters, because it's important everybody see whatever happened, lots of clicks, and good-hearted people trying to help. Okay? Mr. Rogers said, whenever a tragedy strikes, always look to see who's helping, because there will always be people. But he's dead and PBS is too, so we'll just keep moving on, I guess. So the real issue with that's where the real issue with double tap comes in. So aside from going out of your way to kill everybody there, you then wait until the survivors come in, trying to help out, sift through rubble to see if anybody's still alive, and then you blast them with another missile. That's not going for the enemy. That's not shooting at Hamas. That's shooting just people trying to help, which is pretty morally reprehensible.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you take a look at...
Just one more. So I went in and looked at the double tap, right? And you knew about it. I did not. Do you know who famously uses the double tap?
Do tell.
Al-Qaeda and Boko Haram use this over in Afghanistan and over in Africa. And on the off chance you're still wondering, is this a hero or villain tactic? Yeah, this was bin Laden, man. This was what they did. They would blow something up, wait till troops went in, and then send in another suicide bomber right after them.
Well, this is also something that Timothy McVeigh was also doing in Kansas City, so it was done locally. It's kind of the meanest thing that you can possibly do. It's the same as a tactic of a sniper to shoot the wound. So then you have your one buddy laying around on a battlefield screaming for his buddies to come out, and anyone who tries to come save them, they're getting popped in the freaking head too. I mean, you're going after aid workers this way. Like, war is hell. Every now and then the missile's going to strike something different. But when you're literally camping on a spawn point and now you're shooting the actual helpers, you're an a-hole.
Yeah. Yeah, this is journalists and just medics trying to help. And we all agreed with the Geneva Convention. That's not something you do, but I guess when you're running a country like a dictator, you can kind of do whatever you want, right?
I mean, we've seen it here.
Yeah. So Benny Net's office released a statement calling this a tragic mishap and essentially a big old whoops daisies. But 972 magazine, which is a liberal Israeli magazine, published an investigation just last month showing where Israeli security forces pretty much said double taps are standard procedure now in Gaza. The IDF chimed in, and with a slightly different tone, saying there was a camera on the roof of the hospital and F everybody because it had to go.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you knock it out twice. Like, you have such good munitions. And first of all, if there's a camera on top of that hospital, maybe stop shooting people in the hospital.
Now, this is the other issue we're running into. You got to be real careful with your words now, because if you ever criticize them, you're an anti-Semite.
Hey man, you guys mind stop shooting on all these World Health Bank trucks? Like, what are you, Hitler? Like, okay, it's a happy medium.
Well, then you'll love my next move. Pivot on to our next topic, since you're such a big Jew hater now.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of deplorable Israelis, Tom Alexandrovich, I still have no idea how to say that name.
Alexandrovich.
We got a big update. Just kidding. There is no update. Literally nothing new. Newer than 7 days old on Google. Trying to look up, has anything happened with this guy? It's almost like, for some reason, we've all been given marching orders just to ignore this story, which is pretty wild for a pedophile. The only place left even murmuring about this story is on Twitter, which is really hard to, verify anything. But I found something else strange when I was digging for it. Do you know who Sean King is?
I used to follow him a long time ago, but he kind of jumped the shark for me, so I kind of rolled off that bus.
Yep, I'm with you on that one. But he's been reporting on a ton of high-profile stuff, and for 10, almost 20 years now. And his pinned tweet is mentioning that Twitter, or X, is deleting anything he says with this guy's name on it. Like, they've gone back and just wiped his Twitter of all these things, except for his pinned story, which I guess they can't get into for some reason. Sean believes Elon is purposely trying to scrub Twitter of this story. So, to quote the world's richest loser, interesting if true.
I'm going to give a conflicting view on this one. If you're able to scrub all of these tweets, but if you pin it, then no, Elon can't destroy it at that point. That's BS. Second of all, Elon on multiple occasions has gone ahead and just restricted people's access if he doesn't like it. But for some reason, he's destroying all his tweets, but not limiting his access. And third, Elon is essentially a South African Kanye. So anything that's bad against the Israelis, I think if anything, he would amplify it. And the fact that he's going ahead and going in the opposite direction makes me kind of question the logic here. And honestly, if you think someone's deleting your stuff, take a screenshot with a newspaper, a time clock, and then later on, you can prove it they're deleting your stuff by posting that. Link to your number like a Blue Sky or anything else. I don't know. I think this is an attention grab.
It's possible, but tinfoil hat on. I think marching order is we don't talk about any pedophiles ever, period, to stop people to linking it to the Epstein files.
Yeah. They better not make it to the Smithsonian. We'll scrub that place too. No slavery, no pedophiles. That's how this nation was started. We came over here. The Indians gave our land. We gave them some dirty blankets. And they decided that they just want to build casinos on small plots of land in the most inhospitable places. We shook on it and went on our merry way.
Yeah, they definitely just sold us all that land for nothing, and we're just the best at deals. Nothing else to see here.
Donald Trump's ancestors came over and negotiated the deals by giving those locals dirty blankets, and we had this beautiful, wonderful real estate. Because who else could do it other than Donald Trump's parents?
Yep. We're just going to assume that's fact from here on out.
Mm-hmm.
Pinning that Smithsonian. So back to social media, which is pretty much the only place you'll ever hear anything about the story. There's no other news outlets are reporting on this guy, which is weird after all the pedophile hunt stuff. So Fox and the other alt-right outlets spent all last week talking about Harjinder Singh, who was a, quote, illegal, unquote, immigrant who killed 3 people while making an illegal U-turn in Florida. And I heard illegal and migrant and failed our English test and America first. Now, it's weird because the illegal driver's license was actually legal and it was approved in California under Trump. So he's legal. But somehow that's all Newsom's fault. But if you're losing your mind over an immigrant truck driver in an auto accident, then a foreign pedophile should have triggered an emergency Apple alert or something on your phone, right? They should be screaming, but nobody is talking about this guy. And I don't know, man. Starting to think this whole Epstein Israeli intelligence thing has legs. Tin foil might just be a regular hat now.
I wouldn't be surprised if it does. And I actually looked into the whole thing with Harjinder, and they have a photo. They're putting him into a plane to transport him somewhere, and it's the lieutenant governor along with the marshals doing it. Like, you got the lieutenant governor doing this. Like, yeah, 3 people died. It sucks. It's sad. But the guy it was a car accident. Like, these things happen. I mean, I don't know. The fact that they overreacted to it, like, you're looking real hard, like, oh my God, an illegal killed Americans. Like, cool. Now do the story where 17 million, like, Floridians kill each other with guns every day. Like, they're doing a lot more hurt to themselves. Like, you don't need I don't get it.
Yeah, no, there's difference between a traffic accident and then somebody legitimately trying to bang a 15-year-old. And I feel like if you want to be America first and start blaming immigrants for things, that this foreign influence should be one maybe you could focus on.
Yeah, and the fact is, like, we're saying he got his driver's license in California, like, roar. I think he's a pretty good driver. To make it with a semi all the way from Cali to Florida, you crossed the entire coast. Like, and then you made a mistake of making this U-turn when you're not supposed to. And get off your high horse. We've all made illegal U-turns. We've all done stupid things in life, and this guy made a huge mistake. And actually, there's 2.5 million people, I believe, who just signed a petition on change.org asking him to be a little bit more lenient with him. Like, listen, we understand he killed some people, but it's not like he loaded his car full of explosives and drove them around or went online to communicate with a 15-year-old and try to get her over. And by the way, this guy's bail was denied.
Well, as long as we have our priorities straight, that's all that really matters, I guess.
Consistency. That's the word of the day.
I'm guessing this wasn't Chada who approved that no bail on this one.
No, it's Florida, so almost the same.
So, unpinning our Smithsonian word there, we all have regrets, right? Not studying hard enough for a Spanish test, you end up bombing because why would I ever need to learn Spanish? Publicly suggesting using a fire hose as a means of crowd control because they didn't really go in depth about the fight for civil rights back in high school. Yeah, that happened. Thinking the stripper is really excited about your fantasy trade you just made while you're setting up your Klarna payment for the next lap dance. All regrets. All things you learn from. And as long as you learn from a mistake, you know, something good comes from it. It changes who you are integrally as a person, right? Early mistakes shape you to be who you are in the end. Learn from it. Until now, your favorite child molester, who may or may not be in the Epstein files, has decided that an accurate portrayal of our country's history is dumb and woke and therefore evil. So he's demanding sweeping changes at the Smithsonian because museums should only cover awesome victories and none of the ugliness that got us there in the first place. Quote, the Smithsonian is out of control, where everything discussed is how horrible our country is, how bad slavery was, and how unaccomplished and how the impoverished and downtrodden have been. Nothing about success, nothing about brightness, nothing about the future. This country cannot be woke because woke is broke. We have the hottest country in the world and we want people to talk about it, including our museums, end quote.
How long before he goes and acquires 50% of Cracker Barrel and just makes it some dude whipping a slave as far as the new like logo? He's like, we have to remember our history, all the good things we did. Like, sir, he's like, you heard me. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I get the whole like it's woke to focus on how bad slavery was. Like, no, you remember how bad things were so you don't fall into it again. Sometimes it's okay to have a little humility and feel some shame about how we got here.
Yeah.
That doesn't make you broke. That makes you learned.
Like, look at the Germans. They're not trying to whitewash their history. Like, oh no, we messed up horribly. Like, we're never going to do that again. Like, it doesn't take anything away. Like, people make mistakes. And from a guy who's had multiple, like, bankruptcy, he should understand about mistakes. And at what point are we going to try to erase those from history?
Oh, you know that's coming.
There were structural reassessments to my financial situation. Like, it's a long way to say that you bankrupted casinos, homie.
Yeah, it's a lot of balls to downplay slavery from a guy who has famously not had to deal with consequences over an 80-year career of being a jackass.
Well, I mean, they've learned valuable skills. We integrated them into the workforce.
Yeah, a little foreshadowing to the next episode where I dig into PragerU and all that hateful BS.
But it might take a lot more than one episode for Prager. That place is insane. And I'm sure that's going to be doing all the, the videos for Linda McMahon's Department of Education sometime real soon.
Yeah, when the lady running school says, let's just blame the poor.
Consistency, again.
Hey, and no one loves wrestling more than me. 10 years ago, I would have fought you tooth and nail over saying a bad word about the McMahons. But holy jeez, they turned out to be really bad. How is your husband paid off God knows how many people for just sexual harassment and, alleged rape? And his wife's the bad one.
Yeah.
How are you causing more damage? This really is a competitive family.
Yeah, that's a family that reaches for the stars, but somehow in the gutter.
Oh, yeah, it's so get ready. We are pressure washing our awesome history. It's going to be great.
So one of the things pressure washing, it's sometimes it comes out of you, and one of the stories for Thursday that we're going to be doing is the wonders of raw milk and what is happening with it as certain Maha influencers take it and what the outcome is. And I think you can guess how it ends. But yeah, we'll get a little bit of a deep dive on it on Thursday if Eric doesn't oversleep. And then if he does, then on Friday.
Yeah. Again, not me who overslept. So I'm Eric Halsey. Release the files and free Luigi.
I'm Alex Midway, and I'm a barefoot athlete, so clearly I make zero mistakes.
Daddy, chill.
Later, Gators.